As Russian tanks rolled into Ukraine, the international community's response was swift. In less than a week, Russia's globalized economy disappeared as economic sanctions began to take hold. And yet, policymakers have insisted that these sanctions are temporary. For example, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said that if the war ends, Ukraine's independence, territorial integrity, and sovereignty are restored, then many of the tools that we're using to get the result will go away. The sanctions are not designed to be permanent. This might seem strange. If the world views Putin's move as an affront to international norms, why wouldn't the punishment continue afterward? The answer is that it actually hurts Ukraine's current bargaining position. Imagine that this line represents the expected division of Ukraine if war were to continue indefinitely. Everything to the left of the line remains Ukraine's, everything to the right falls under Russia's dominion. War is not free, though, and we can use this red line to represent Russia's costs. The space between the white and red lines reflects how Russia internalizes the costs of war, converted to square kilometers. The easiest way to think about those costs is the death and destruction of war. However, it also includes whatever other disutilities Russia might encounter, like the plunging value of the ruble. That's why you might better think of this as the opportunity cost of war. In any case, in negotiations, the best deal Ukraine can extract out of Russia is to go all the way to here. The larger Russia's opportunity cost, the more Ukraine can extract. This is where we run into problems. If the sanctions will never be reversed, then it's no longer a cost of war. It's just a cost of existing. Thus, Russia's opportunity cost for fighting shrinks. And in turn, the amount that Ukraine can extract also goes down. This is a slight flaw with the sanctions regime more broadly. If the war does end, economic investment will return to Russia. But companies doing business there are going to be uneasy, so some amount of that economic value is lost forever. If it were possible to fully return to normal, then Ukraine would have even more bargaining leverage and could get a better deal. But that is not possible, and so Ukraine cannot. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.